Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the flight deck. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. We're here in Calgary, and we are going to be heading out of Calgary and flying over to the capital of British Columbia. That is Victoria, down on the south end of Vancouver Island. Flight time is about an hour, so it's a fairly short flight for today. Basically up over the Rockies and down the other side. We'll be flying the FENIX A320 in the Retro Air Canada markings. And yeah, so let's get on board and start getting everything set up and ready to go as per normal. Alright, let's take our seat. First thing we're going to do, we'll get the iPad up and running and get our flight plan loaded in. And while that's coming in, we will get rid of Rogers just for frames. We'll start our tracker, and looks like our flight is in. So we're quickly going to pop down here, clear this up. We're going to edit our departure time to what it's actually going to be. There we go. And if we pop over here to our mass, we can see we have 122 passengers today, 5.8 tons of cargo, or 5,800 pounds of cargo, 11,867 pounds of fuel. We're in pounds because this is old. Hi, Brian. All right, let's go up top. Oops, that's not what I want. All right, tracker is going. We can do our pre-flight check. So cockpit preparation is done. Parking brake is set. Ground power is connected. External power is now on. And the batteries are on. I'm also going to crank the lights here. There we go. And we might as well get them to start
boarding requested.
Loading everybody on board. So up to the adheres, get them aligning. Evac to Captain Purser signs are now all on in the back. Lights are on, crew oxygen is on, generators 1 and 2 are on and in fault. Dial the temperatures down slightly. Packs 1 and 2 are on and in fault. Do our fire tests on the APU. Should hear you going off. Alright, there's engine 1. There we go. And engine 2.
Do you want a board crew?
Passengers only.
Passengers boarding started.
Everybody else is already on board. Alright, emergency exit lights are on. Icing indicator, standby compass lights are on. Cargo heat is set to cold. So for clearance, there is no ATC here, so we're going to self-clear. Winds are fairly strong, but they're more or less north out of the north, so we're going to be taking off on runway 35 right for today's flight. I'm going to pop down here to Roger's side, and then we're going to come over and we're going to force the load. We'll then dismiss that. We'll bring the jetway back so it's doing its thing. That door open, and then I'm going to resend the load sheet, and that should give us our final load sheet there, so we have the information we can enter in. Alright, clear the messages. Nav data is good to 12 July. We'll initialize and bring in our flight plan. So again, short trip over the Rockies. Fairly nice. As you can see, CYYC Calgary, CYYJ to Victoria with YVR Vancouver as our alternate. Today we are flying Air Canada Flight 211. Cost index of 25, and we are going up to 38,000 feet. We won't be there for long. We'll bring in our winds for climb and descent. There we go. And then we can go over to and B. We can enter our block fuel for today. which is 11,867, so 11.8 on the fuel. And zero fuel weight is going to be 124.4. And our center of gravity at zero fuel weight is 28.4. Alright, let me try that again. 28.4. No, let's see. 28.4. That gave me that. And you should give me my 124. 4.4. There we go. Reserve is 2.2. And there we go. And that is in. So for our flight plan today, we're going to be taking off runway 35 to the north. And I'll show you our plan shortly. We're going to do the CYYC 7, which is basically 5 miles straight out. And then vectors to our departure, so 35 right, we're going off on the CYYC 7, and we will insert. Our arrival into Victoria is going to be the ILS for 09, and we are going in on the A-Pass 6 arrival from Booth. Fueling in pounds on this aircraft. It's so old, this is back when Air Canada used pounds. So the measurement matches the livery date. If you remember the Gimli glider, this is that time frame. Alright, so it looks like bags are coming on board. Last of them anyway. I'll just scoop down. Everything is looking good. All there. Alright, so the flight plan in. We come over to our performance now. Let's pop up and get our performance numbers. So we're at Calgary. We're not going on 08. We're going to use 35 right. Surface is dry. It's going to be a flaps 1F. PAX 1. We'll load in our weather and our sheets, and we will do our calculations. Our weather and our load sheet. There we go. 124, 135, 135. Back over, we are doing a flaps 1 with up 0.2 and a 61 degree flex. So flaps 1, up 0.2, and a 61 degree flaps. Yeah, I know. It keeps catching me out because everything I've got, it defaults to kilograms because of almost all of my aircraft are either Canadian or European registered, right? So it's all kilograms, but I have to remember to tell SimBrief to do it in pounds. Alright, so we are set with our takeoff information. We can come over to Roger's side. Everything is looking good there. Passengers are still coming aboard. I'll get the weather and then we'll take a look at our route for today. So there's the weather in the chat. Winds are 050 at 14. A little bit of visibility. It is hazy out. 20 miles is our visibility. Clouds at 14,000. Few overcast 25,000. 24 degrees. 2990. So we'll set that on both sides, including the standby. We'll just give it one click down. And we will uncage the secondary artificial horizon. Yeah, Well, that's what happened with the Gimli glider. They asked for it in kilograms, and the ground crew gave it to them in pounds, so it was less than half of what they should have had, and they didn't pick up on it before they left. Alright, so that is done. So let's take a quick look at our route today. Let me grab the map. There we go. So we're going to take off out of Calgary to the north. We'll make a left turn, swing it around to Botag, and then we're basically going to head down across the Rockies. Seeing some wonderful sights today. Weather should be pretty good. And coming down in towards the coastline, we're going to descend down over Vancouver, pass south of the airport, down onto Vancouver Island, and then swing ourselves around for the ILS in on runway 09. So when I was flying the small airplanes that I flew, the fuel tanks were measured in US gallons. The fuel was pumped out in liters in Canada, and all your weight and balance was done in pounds of fuel. So you're constantly doing conversions in your head and all that stuff. How much does fuel weigh, and what's the conversion between US gallons and pounds, and loads of fun stuff there. Alright, so the altimeter is our set, transponder is in, PWS is on, GCS is on. We're loaded fuel, baggage, and we're now waiting on the cabin to finish loading and get set up. We're going to climb right up to our cruise altitude of 380 today, as there is no SID restrictions and no ATC restrictions. Let's take a look at the VATSIM network, see if anyone is up over in Vancouver area. There isn't right now. Or maybe someone come up a little bit later, we'll see. There are some aircraft in the area. We'll see what happens. I think we're prepped and ready to go in here. Tomorrow we're continuing on with our U.S. Capitals tour, flying the DC-3. We'll be traveling from Trenton, New Jersey to Dover, Delaware. And that should be a good one. And then we're back Friday in Aurora, flying from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, back to Calgary. Saturday will be our continuation of our tour around the Atlantic, where we're going to be flying, continuing up the western edge of the Atlantic. And on Sunday we fly the 747 freighter, once again in support of the Formula One season. We're flying from Montreal to Vienna, Austria. So we have a full week of flying coming up. Thursday is my day off, and I'm actually flying on that day. I'm flying up to the nation's capital. Sounds like everybody is on board. Excellent. So we can come down over here now. We will go back to our ground services page. We'll get the doors closed. And
we're ready to go when you are.
Cabin is ready. So we'll get the front doors closed. They can pull when they are ready.
On behalf of the cabin crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard our flight. As you find your seat, be sure to place your large carry-on items
APU
in the
master
overhead
on.
bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. If you have trouble finding a location for any of your
APU
carry-on
on.
items, please use the flight attendant call button over your seat and somebody will assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other
So
passengers.
it's a little bit of a taxi. We're going to head out past the terminal, and then down we're heading off on the eastern side of the airfield.
Find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card.
Boston to Halifax, that's a short flight.
Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know.
I'll be in Boston 2 weeks?
Now's the time to get
3
out
weeks.
any last-minute text messages if you need to, but we ask that once we depart from the gate, you put away
Latter
any
part of
laptops or
July.
tablets. Thank you, and welcome aboard.
All right, 50% on the EPU. You can hear it winding up. Everybody is getting away. Custom Calgary scenery here. Looking nice.
That you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger
APU
devices are now
is
shut down
up.
and stowed.
APU bleeds
If you have not
are
already,
now
please
on.
fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight across your lap. Your tray table
External power is disconnected. Takeoff data is set.
Doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
Chocks and GPU are disconnected. FCP is set. Managed 380 managed. Flight directors are on both sides and radios. We're on 122.8. So as we get ready to start, we'll get the beacon light on. We'll call, let them know we are ready for push. We will make our call outs since we are on VATSIM. The fuel pumps turned on. And we look right up there. There she is.
Hello, Captain.
Jetway
We
is
are ready
moved.
for push back.
There she comes. GSX did a big update last night, so we'll see what it if there's anything that pops up that we notice.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
There's the tug. Caribbean Southern Maria. Yeah, I'm doing one as well. It's Montreal to Boston. Kind of doing New England, 7-day. I'm introducing a friend to cruising.
Locking gear.
All right. Let's clear some of these messages here. All right, we want to go tail to our left and nose to our right.
Release parking brakes.
Calgary area traffic, Air Canada 211 at gate 34. Push and start facing southwest.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Alright, there's the push starting. So engine mode to start, starting engine number 2. I do like how it's the white and red with Air Canada, but the engines are this very pale, like eggshell blue. It's kind of neat. Nose wheels should be rolling. They don't lock with this type of push on a push bar. There we go. Looks like he's going to get us on the
Your
line.
nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. In the event of a loss of cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop in front of you.
There we go. Engine's
Set the
coming
floor
up through
oxygen
400
mask towards
degrees.
you and place it firmly over your nose and mouth.
450.
Secure the elastic behind your head and tighten
Stable
the
at
straps if necessary.
18.6, starting
And
engine
don't worry
number
if
1.
the bag doesn't inflate. Oxygen is flowing to the mask and you can breathe.
Oh, they probably did. Let's see where they're going to leave us. B1 is the push point. Alright. Good thing there's no aircraft parked back here. I think ATC would be yelling at us right now.
This vest is equipped with a whistle and a light. If you need to, your seat cushion can be used as a secondary flotation device. Please make sure to exit the aircraft as soon as possible.
The brakes are set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and
Yeah,
seat
it's got
tables
that
are all in their
iceberg
full
blue
upright
color to it.
position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping, tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke
Should get the
detectors
available.
located
There
in
she
the
is.
laboratories
Book
is
that engine
strictly
start.
prohibited by law.
We have a
All
good
this
engine
information
start.
and more
You
can
can
be found in
disconnect.
the
Alright, so coming up top, generators 1 and 2 are
Just
on,
reading
no
this and
faults.
letting us
Ignition
have you
mode
never know if you
selector
have any
goes
questions.
to
Thank
normal.
you for flying with us again, and we hope you
Pro
enjoy your
heats
flight.
are on. Wing engine anti-ice not required. Packs 1 and 2 are on. And no faults. Flaps, select flaps 1 plus F. Trim, we want 0.2 up. So we'll roll the trim wheel back to get 0.2 up. There we go.
Unlocking
Flight
gear.
control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full forward, full back, neutral, full left rudder, full right rudder, neutral. APU disconnected or turned off. APU
Tow truck
bleeds are off.
disconnected.
FCP is
Bypass
set.
pin removed.
Engine instruments checked
Left is clear.
and good.
Right is clear.
Tug is disconnected. Tiller is now on. Auto brakes set to max. Ground spoilers are armed. TO config is done. Takeoff memo, no blue. And she's walking out with the pin. Thank you very much. And away we go. Calgary area traffic, Air Canada 211 taxiing runway 35 right via the apron, Echo, Bravo, holding short, Bravo 35 right, Calgary. All right. So the taxi lights on. Brakes released. There we go. We'll turn on the transponder.
We're ready for departure.
Cabin's ready. Now we do have to watch. We are at a higher elevation, 3,500 and something feet here in Calgary land. Let's see if we'll find it. 3,606 feet is the airport elevation here in Calgary. So we have to watch that because it will impact our performance. There's the tower. We're gonna come around this way. Make our way around the perimeter of the apron. I haven't been into Calgary in a long time. I think I've only been there once. Been to Edmonton a couple times. Not so much Calgary. Been into Victoria once as well, although we took the 300-8-300 out of Vancouver. I don't think it was a Q400. Might have been a 200. There's some remote stands. We're not going in there. Just gonna follow this around. This is Echo. Sort of swing down here. Yeah, I've been to Halifax a few times. I've done a few military conferences there back in my working days. Toronto's the main. Montreal as well, in and out of there a number of times. Quebec. Quebec was actually a nice little airport. Only problem was I was there in February, so it was brutally cold. That was my flight on Air Canada's smallest airplane, and not the Beech 1800, but the Dash 8 100 from where did we fly from? Bagotville down to Quebec City, I think it was. Short little commuter hop. Or was it out of Quebec City? I can't remember. That's years ago. Again, another military thing. Alright, this is Juliet, Quebec. We're going to want the next one, which will be Echo. Street fire right dead ahead. It's not too bad smog-wise, given the fires. I know they're talking about Ottawa and Montreal again getting hit a little bit. Brian, you must be seeing that. And we're going to go on the first one here at Bravo, since it goes all the way down to the end of the runway. You're driving to Canada? That's a big place. East Coast, Center, West? Take this all the way down to the end. There's the de-icing on the eastern side of the field. Busy place in the winter. And the weather's pretty good. There's little spots of rain around. We should be okay. Didn't seem to be like a mass. Just a little isolated. Time is it? Noon, yeah. Probably a little isolated thermal generated rain showers. From New Orleans. Oh wow! We're coming up right through the entire U.S. to Canada. That's going to be a trip. New Orleans, another place that I want to go, and I know I just said it two different ways there, but yeah, on my list of places to visit. Love the music. Romeo. I'll give them a ding in the back. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. I can do that through the thing actually. Let me try this. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Yeah, it doesn't sound that great. All right. So we got Quebec and Bravo. We're going to go right down to the end. As they say, we paid for the runway, we might as well use all of it. Well, at least we're not at somewhere like Amsterdam or... Well, London's not bad. I think Paris de Gaulle is pretty long taxis. London can be bad. New York can be bad just because of traffic lined up. Amsterdam, depending on which way the wind is, if you land, you're like a 20-minute taxi to the terminal. All right. Calgary area traffic, Air Canada 211, taking position, runway 35 right, Calgary. Lights on, strobes on, turn off lights on, nose to take off, wing lights are on, transponder TARA, our TCAS TARA transponder's already on. Get ourselves lined up. Engines to 40%. Nice rolling start. And there we go. Man, flex 61 degrees SRS runway enabled, auto throttle blue, takeoff power set. Airspeed's live. 100 knots. V1. Rotate. Just watch that wind. Flying the needles, positive rate, gear up. Speed brakes disarmed. The airport in Calgary. Alright, takeoff power set. We're now heading direct to Botag, which is our first waypoint. And autopilot's on. It's Trans-Canada Highway. Town of Calgary, you can see that haze layer. I guess that's some of the smoke. And the mountains in the distance. That's where we're headed. We're in downtown Calgary. And we'll say goodbye to the airport as we climb out. And there's S-speed, so flaps retract. Speed's increasing to 250 knots. Rockies are coming up. You can hear the wind increasing as it passes over the cockpit in front of the aircraft. Yeah, I can imagine. You're looking at a good 4 days. Well, I guess you can push it in 3. My younger days, I might have done it in 2, but probably do it in 3 at this point, or 4 at this point. All right, let's get these lights all off. Take the seatbelt signs off. Wing lights can come off. Should be good over the mountains by the time we get there. And we are accelerating up to our high altitude climb speed.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing through 10,000 feet.
Oh, David.
You can now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not congregate in the galleys or near the lavatories.
Forgot to start the clock. We'll start that now. Yeah, we were looking at an air time of 1 hour, so that's what it should be. There's the rolling hills, the foothills of the Rockies. You'd see coming off the plains here. And then we got the Rockies themselves stretching horizon to horizon as a great wall in front of us. Some of the places we're going to be flying past are just south of Canmore. Over a lot of rivers and lakes. Just south of Vernon, north of Kelowna. And then coming in over eastern Vancouver, Coquitlam, Burnaby, down over Richmond. Across the straits onto Vancouver Island. Still no ATC up at the moment, and if we take a quick look at traffic in and out of Victoria, we are the only ones at the moment on the departures and arrival board for Victoria. There's 18,000 feet. We'll switch over to standard pressure. And everything is looking good. A little bit of cloud off in the distance. You get that a lot with the moist Pacific air being pushed into the mountains and lifted up. Of course, as the air cools, forgot they're not synced. With the air cooling and the moisture being pushed up, cooler air can't hold as much water, so it condenses out as cloud, which is probably that ridge line of cloud you see there coming off the Pacific. Whoa! And that was lightning. I did say there was little bits of storms and stuff in the area. And we're just about to fly through some of it, apparently. Again, summertime thermal convection storms. Hopefully we'll be up above it soon. So we're going to give you a view. Let's give you we did this view yesterday. We'll give you this view at this side. I'll bring up the in-flight entertainment. We've got a series of shorts for you, and you can sit back, relax, enjoy. The cart's open. If you want to order drinks or food, you are more than welcome. And we will come back as we get closer in for our descent briefing, and I'm going to go take a quick little trip to the galley, and we'll be back on the mic shortly. See you in the chat.
Okay, let's go into the ball. I'm your fairy godfather. That's just me and can of spinach, or you'll be late for the ball. The ball! Oh boy!
our
people
lovely
who
flight
believe in
attendants
ghosts.
starting our in-flight
And there are
service.
some
We'll be
people who
serving
don't.
complimentary drinks and
If
snacks.
you're the
Premium
believe
drinks
in
are
ghosts
available for a
kind,
small charge.
then
Please
this
note,
story is
only
about
accept
one.
credit cards.
And if you're the don't believe in ghost kind, well, just for fun, this story is about one anyway. His name was Casper, and he was surely the most unusual ghost there ever was, or wasn't, depending on how you feel about it. Every night, stroke of 12, his brothers and sisters scampered out joyously to frighten the folk of the neighborhood. But not Casper. He'd rather stay home and not frighten people, which goes to show how unusual he really was.
Wake up, Casper! Time to scare people!
Casper just doesn't like to scare people. Guess it sounds sort of silly, but, well, he'd just rather make friends with them. This has been going on for ages, and Casper just couldn't stand it any longer. So, Casper decided to leave home, to seek new environments where he might forget he's a ghost and make friends with the world.
Good morning, friends.
go on home. You go on where you belong. Tell your mother I've come for payment of the mortgage. A ghost! The house is haunted! Keep the mortgage! I'll never be nothing but a scary old ghost without any friends.
So, if you're the believe in ghost stories kind, this is what happened. And if you're the don't believe in ghost stories kind, well, this is what happened anyway.
Alright, we're back. We're getting close to the top of descent. We're about 60 miles out. Just checking the weather. We've got a few lightning strikes around us. We do have some little isolated storms along our path here. They're going to end up behind us. They end before we get to the coast, so we shouldn't see much of them there. It is foggy down there apparently though, so we're gonna have to watch for that. I'm gonna grab the weather. I'm gonna start entering in our arrival information. So I put the weather in the chat. I'm not sure if you can decipher at the end there where it says SFTR, CFTR, surface and centralized thunder, fog bank, northeast, southeast. So there's some weather in the area. Could make visibility a little bit awkward, but shouldn't be too bad. Let's go down. We can start entering in our stuff. And we're going to start with our performance information. And it just flicked up as it came down here, which is very nice of it. So QNH is going to be 29902. So standard pressure. Temperature currently down in Victoria, 16 degrees. It's generally a little cooler there. It is on the coast. Winds are 140 at 14. They've come around a little bit more southeasterly, but still favoring runway 09 for our landing. That's not the one I want, so I'm going to put that there. So that's all good. Minimums for the arrival, we're going in on the ILS for runway 09. And the minimums are going to be 305 feet. And that is now entered in as well. Readout navigation, IKH is the identifier 1087. And we're looking at a course of 90 degrees with a 3-degree slope, which is correct. A couple other things we're going to tune in as well. I'm going to tune in the ADF2. It's the Mill Bay beacon on 293. We'll put that in there. And for the VOR, then we'll leave it on the YVR VOR. Actually, no, we're going to use the other ADF because that's our Mr. Approach ADF. What? No, that's the wrong button. 378. Yeah, we're going to head directly towards that if we have to go on the mist. So that is all entered in now. 39 miles to top of descent. See, we're still out over the Rockies, still got some cloud in the area, but it should clear a little bit, at least storm-wise. So you can see our planned approach here. We're going to be coming in flying down across the Rockies, Vancouver. We're going to make a series of turns, and then we'll be making a full turn here. I want to see, can I tell it? Be nice if I could tell it to overfly. Not sure if I can. No. Be nice to be able to say overfly that waypoint, but it's all right. So, just looking at our points. $2,300 at, I'll go 2,300. We'll make sure that's a hard 2,300. There we go. And we're looking good. Get some nice views as we come down. It seems to be fairly clear. A little bit of mist or haze down in the valleys, and everything is looking good. So we've got a continual descent. We have a few restrictions over the Vancouver VOR. We have between 16 and 13, and then we have to be under 22 at lane. 4,000 at Kilku. So I'm going to put in our restriction of 23. There we go. That should get us down nicely. Just start to make it out. There's the flat delta where Vancouver is, and Just on the horizon, a little bit of a rough edge. That's Vancouver Island. It's a little bit noisy out there. Vancouver area traffic, Air Canada 211, 30 miles east of Booth, inbound for the APAS 6 arrival into Victoria, ILS runway 09. Alright, let's start her down. We'll do our report at Booth, which is where we're entering into the actual arrival. Right, so arrival and weather data has been obtained. Nav data is checked. Matches the star and approach information is entered. MCD approach page is completed. Radios are set. Again, there's no ATC on currently, so we're good. Wing and engine NTS not required. FTP managed 2300 and managed. Altimeters are pretty much in standard anyway, so we're just going to go over to 2992, and that is what it's indicating, so shouldn't be an issue. There's 113 there. And we'll just ride her down. Air brakes are out. Speed brakes. And flight time was estimated to be an hour. I think gate to gate's an hour and 21 minutes. Not a lot of big aircraft fly into Victoria. A lot of it is Q400 type of traffic. They do get 737s and A320s in there, but that's about the biggest thing that'll go into Victoria. I think WestJet flies 737s direct from Calgary into Victoria. Air Canada doesn't. They fly into Vancouver, then hop over. So you can see ahead of us now. There's the end of the mountains. There's the Vancouver Delta. This is Vancouver up here. There's the airport's right there. We're kind of heading direct towards it. Actually, we'll go to the VOR, which is over slightly off. You got all the suburbs out this way, Burnaby and Coquitlam and stuff like that. The famous Stanley Park right there on the end. And then there's the Vancouver Strait. And then you can see Vancouver Island. Victoria's down at the far end over here. That's where we'll be headed. So watching for ATC. And nobody up yet. We're still the only aircraft going in at the moment. There's a few going into Vancouver. Nothing major here. Looks like I just had a weather load in. A little bit of a bump there. It's 30,000 feet. You got a late lunch? Alright. Well, you've come back to some time. We're descending down into our arrival now. Victoria area traffic, Air Canada 211 overhead Booth, descending through flight level 296 on the APAS 6 arrival, ILS runway 09 Victoria. Alright, we're now heading more or less directly towards the YVR VOR, which is located south of the airport. looking good. We have to be below 20,000 when we hit lean, and we have to be between 16 and 13,000 when we hit the Vancouver, and at 250 knots. So we'll have to bear all that in mind. We'll throw on our constraints. See 16, 13, 250 below 20 or 20,000, and other speed restrictions and everything. We're all looking good. So engines are at idle. We're not accelerating too quickly, so we're on a nice angle. So again, there's a lot of rivers that come out of the Rockies and form the Vancouver Delta. You can see a couple of them, the big ones. But it's all been built up and developed now into the largest city on the west coast in Canada. And of course the Rockies carry down into the States and go all the way down to, I believe they peter out down into Arizona. They go all the way up into Alaska. There's 24,000 feet. We'll turn on the seatbelt signs in the back, get everyone sit down, and the crew start doing their cleanups.
Gentlemen, the flight crew has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelt.
Alright, so that last weather was 50 minutes ago. That's good. Take it as current. So once again, you look out, you can see there's Vancouver. And there's the North Shore. The cruise ship terminal is over here. And you head out this way. This is Stanley Park, the famous Stanley Park. Vancouver Straits. The airport's right there. There's the, if you do the ferries out here, BC ferries that run all up and down the coast here, they go in and out of these areas here. This part of this little peninsula is actually the United States. The border runs right through there. A little bit of bad drawing way back in the day. And the funny thing is, the high school students that live here have to get on a bus, clear customs, drive around here, clear customs, go to high school over here, and then go back clearing customs. So they do like 4 border crossings a day when they're going to school. A little bit ridiculous. Alright, let's get back and see where we are. Speed is creeping up. We're going to have to bring that under control. So we're going to be heading down to 250 knots. That is our speed restriction at YVR. We'll get the speed brakes out. Of course, coming down at these altitudes, we're staying above the traffic going into Vancouver. We are going to turn on the train radar as well, just because it is a little bit hilly down over here on the island. Would be nice if we had weather radar. Alright, so we have to be below 16,000. We've got 14 miles to go. There's 18,000 feet transition. We've already dialed it over since it's standard pressure currently. And we're coming in Vancouver Airport. Yeah, I know the speed breaks out. I don't want to be accelerating. There's that fog bank that the weather was reporting. Some cloud as well. Turn on those ADFs. We'll get them indicating. One of them is the one at the airport. The other one is the active pass, which is our missed approach point. There's a hold there. That is on ADF 1. So we'll have to fly that heading and head up there if we have to go around. 16,000 feet coming up. Watching our speed, make sure she doesn't increase too much. Cross feeding in fuel from the outer tanks. That's good. Means we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. There's the turn. 1 mile, 100 feet to go, or 0.1 miles, 100 feet to go. So bang on target. The descent rate is going to increase. Should have brought us through there at about 12 or 14.5, the halfway point. Would have been nicer. We're going to bring the speed back to 240 now. Kind of flying directly towards the airport. Once we hit AP, which is the active pass NDB, we're going to go into managed mode, and that will bring our speed down to an S speed of 203 knots. I'm aware. The airport is directly ahead. It's located right here on this little peninsula, so we're going to go out this way, come around, and then land. Knots. I'm going to bring our descent rate up to 2,000. Bring up the brakes. airport. So that fog bank has moved off a little bit. There's 10,000 feet coming up, so we'll get the lights all on. Auto brakes will set to medium. Runway length on 09 is only 7,000 feet.
We have begun our final descent into your destination. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back
So we're in
pocket or
approach
under the seat in
phase.
front of you.
Bring the speed back. We're going to watch for our altitudes. Alright, so we're going to go flaps 1. It's going to bring us down to 183 knots. Landing systems will come on. IKH is in 1087. They're showing 6.4 miles, but not facing that way yet. This is the valley we're going to be kind of maneuvering down. .6,000 feet. Bring this up slightly. People in Canada aren't angry. What makes you think they're angry? Haven't you heard? We're some of the politest people around. Until you piss us off, and then we get mad. But other than that, we're generally pretty nice. Alright, so it wants us up at around 4,000. So we're going to ease our descent rate a little bit. Flaps in, speed brakes are up. .4,000 feet at once, so we'll really ease our descent rate here. See how it does the turn. Yeah, well, you can find people like that everywhere. That's one of the problems with having a lot of people. Plus, you don't know mental illness, all that fun stuff. Okay, lights are on. Cabin is notified. We're making that turn early. I knew that was going to happen. So we got to get her down to 2,300. Get under that glide slope. Speed brake out so we don't accelerate too fast. Beautiful turn, beautiful valley. When I flew in here, it was pouring rain.
$2,500.
Alright, so we're coming in. We can arm approach mode. Depends what you want. I have both the PMBG 737s. I will have the 700 and the 800, and I have the FENIX. They're different aircraft. I use them for different things. Different flying. There's more automation in the Airbus. There's less automation in the Boeing. There's more switches and everything you have to do. But it depends on what you want to do. Alright, so speed brake is in. Speed brake is armed. Auto brakes are set. Lights are on. Cabin is notified. Landing systems are on. There are 8 miles to go. Just coming over the hill here. See, and there's the airport on the other side of the bay there. Alright, we're going to start going rapidly here. So, gear down, flaps 2. Airport's in sight. They're both good airplanes. Version 2 of the FENIX coming out soon, I hope, with a lot of updates and everything, and PMDG's continuously updating the 737, so is it legal to buy rifles in Canada? Sure. Well, for now. The current government we have don't want anyone to have rifles, but it's still legal at the moment. Okay, flaps 3. And flaps full, 5 miles. So gear down, 3 green, flaps full, speed brake, arm, auto brake, set, lights are on, cabin notified, landing memo, no blue. Yeah, when I came in here, it was a little bit of haze there. It was low ceilings, rainy. Blah. Do I like brutality? No. Firearms are only dangerous depending on who has them in their hands.
1,000.
And given my military career, I've used a lot of them, of a lot of different types, so they don't bother me. Alright, 1,000 to go. A couple ships out there, looking good. Some weird graphical glitches, not looking so good. Not sure what's going on with that. Seen that a few times. Wish they get that cleaned up, but
500.
looks like it's some boat issue. Nice little dock here. 500 feet.
100 above.
That didn't want to work. My aircraft.
Minimum.
Continue. Not auto landing.
100. 50. 40. 30, 20, retard, 5.
Oh, little hesitation there. All right, welcome to Victoria. Oh, a lot of stuttering. Not sure what's causing that. There's 60 knots, reversers idle, reversers are off, auto brakes are off. We're going to exit here at Sierra.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination.
And we'll head to the
local
terminal.
time is 2:09 p.m. and it's currently about 16 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin.
Victoria
as
Flying
items
Club
may have
over
been
there.
lifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
All right, let's get the flaps up. Speed brakes retracted. Landing lights are off. Strobes are off. Turn off lights are off. Wing lights are off. We'll get the tiller on. And we're heading down to the terminal, which is down there at the far end. So this is the Victoria Flying Club, a lot of private airplanes. See float planes and twin there and a little Cessna. There's the tower. And moving further down, I know the autopilot is off. I turned it off. Not sure why we're crawling here. Why is it legal though? I don't get it. Why is what legal? Buying a rifle? Have you seen Canada? 98% of Canada is wilderness, and a lot of people go out in the wilderness, live out there. They hunt. They feed themselves off the natural bounty of the country. So why not? Plus, you also have people who sport shooting competitions. It's a challenge. It's that whole thing, right? Just because you don't understand it doesn't mean a lot of other people don't. And you know, if they are not hurting anyone, then why not let them do what they want and enjoy? And if they do hurt somebody, then you deal with that person. Which a lot of people seem to forget that that's part of it, dealing with the people who don't follow society's rules. They don't want them because it's mean, I guess. All right, we are heading for gate. What gate are we going for? Let's go for gate 12. 2 gates suitable. Gate 1 and gate 2. Alright, let's go to gate 2. No, you don't need to show me. I kind of know where it is. It's over the other side of the terminal here. A lot of hesitations. Oops, sorry. Hit the mic. A lot of hesitations here today. Anyway, that's where I flew out of. Our planes were parked right outside of the little terminal here. This is a small airport, as you can see. Alright, we're heading over there to gate 2. Yeah, but you can't live your life that way, David. Live in fear, you'll never do anything, you'll never go anywhere, you'll never try anything new. And the odds are extremely small of it happening. Guns are not accessible for murderers. If you are a murderer and have been convicted as a murderer, you cannot buy a gun. It's that simple. Alright, we're going into parking spot 2. if you want to extend that argument, why let people drive cars? Because then they may just take them and go run somebody over. So nobody can drive cars. Or how about alcohol? You can get drunk and beat somebody up and kill them. So nobody can have alcohol. So no driving cars, no having alcohol. Kitchen knives. Somebody could drive a kitchen knife and kill somebody. So nobody is allowed to have kitchen knives. How far do you want to go? And here we are. Welcome to Vancouver, Victoria. We made it. All right, let's get the ground guys out. Yeah, I know you're flapping your arms out there, signaling me. I'm working on it. We'll get the chocks in, and we'll get the GPU in. We'll come up. Ground power is now on. So fuel control levers go to the off position. Beacon light can come off. We'll leave the nav lights on because the aircraft is still powered up. Ground equipment is off or clear coming in. Fuel pumps are off on the engines. Flight directors and landing systems are off. And we are good. So let's pop in here, request deboarding.
The boarding requested.
There we go. And here comes the jetways for everybody. Beautiful day here in Vancouver. Thanks very much for joining us for the flight. Again, we're back tomorrow as we're in the DC-3 as we carry on with our tour of the U.S. capitals in the lower 48. Flying from Trenton, New Jersey down to Dover, Delaware. Thank you very much again for coming along and chatting in the chat. We will see you all on the next one. Bye for now.